why Padma Awards are more than just any other civilian honors. Why Padma Awards are not against the fundamental right of Article 18. And what is the significance of this civilian honor that is Padma Awards. When a nation matures, it doesn't only count the growth rates and GDP. It also pauses to honor those people who have silently been contributing to health, science, art and conscience which makes up the nation. And that is what we have seen over the years with Padma Awards. This year it has been conferred to 131 people who are contributing to the making of nation in form of health, science, art, conscience, etc. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are not only going to see who has been awarded the Padma Awards, we will be understanding Padma Awards holistically. What are these? What is the hierarchy present here? What is the significance? And we will be also understanding to whom this year it has been awarded. So let us begin with talking about what exactly are Padma Awards. So when we are talking about Padma Awards, they are one of the highest civilian honors that you can get in India. Now when I am specifically saying civilian honors, it is to highlight the fact because when we are talking about honors here, we have two broad categories. First we have the civilian honors and then we also have gallantry honors. Can you tell me in the comment section that which awards are given in India, which is the highest gallantry honor which is present in our country? Now when we are talking about gallantry awards, they are given for the bravery, military dedication, military devotion, military bravo that has been shown over the years. But when we are talking about civilian honor, it is for the general public who has been contributing to different arenas. Now, Padma Awards are one of the highest civilian honors that are awarded in India and they were established back in 1954 to recognize, appreciate the individuals, the firms who are contributing to India in a different way just than the numbers. So when we are talking about these awards, we have to understand that they have been announced every year on Republic Day, that is 26th of January. However, the award is given later in the year through our president. And when we are talking about this distinction, you have to understand this is a recognition that goes beyond government service. So when we are talking about gallantry honors, you can understand they are amongst the government service, but civilian honor is for general public. When we are looking at Padma Awards, they also have a hierarchy and classification amongst them. We will be moving on to that. But before that, let us also understand that what are the key features. You have to specially remember that Padma Awards are honors, they are not titles. And that is why they cannot be used as a prefix or suffix in front of anybody's name. This will also give you a clear insight why this is not violation of Article 18, which we will be doing ahead. Furthermore, this award has another key feature that it is not only open to citizens, it is also open to foreigners who have contributed or NRIs, PIOs, people of Indian origin who have contributed. And furthermore, Padma Awards are also given posthumously. That means even if the person has passed away, then they can be recognized. For example, this year in field of art, we have seen late actor Dharmendra receiving this award. Now when we are talking about Padma Awards, the whole idea of establishing them was to just promote excellence, public service and also bring national integration so that there is encouragement to the contribution that people are making either at national level, state level, grassroots level to the country in different arenas beyond the government services. Now that we have a fair idea that what Padma Awards signify, what are they for, now let us move into the hierarchy. Now as I said, Padma Awards are one of the highest civilian honor. Why I said one of the? Because the highest civilian honor in our country is Bharat Ratna. After that comes the Padma Awards and then they have further categorization. So the first amongst this category is Padma Vibhushan. So if we are talking about Padma Awards, then amongst them the first is Padma Vibhushan. Padma Vibhushan becomes the second highest civilian honor. then we have Padma Bhushan, and then we have Padma Shri. Now, these are the medals that are given out, and the number of annual awards are usually up to 120, but this year we have seen the number go up to 131. So, Padma Vibhushan becomes the second highest civilian honor, Padma Bhushan becomes the third highest, and Padma Shri becomes the fourth highest civilian honor. Now, when we are dividing about category, they are conferred based on the services that have been provided. For example, when we are talking about Padma Vibhushan, it is for exceptional and distinguished service, usually which has had a national or international level impact. When we are talking about Padma Bhushan, it is distinguished service with a high order, and a high impact. So, it recognizes that there has been sustained high level contribution that have been made over the years, be it at the national level or the state level. And when we are talking about Padma Shri, it is about distinguished service in any field. It could be arts, it could be science, it could be conscience, it could be faith. And the major focus for Padma Shri is about how it has contributed, what impact has been at the grassroots level. And all three of these awards broadly cover major categories, be it arts, literature, education, trade and industry, agriculture, spiritualism, broadcasting, engineering, public affairs, social work, sports, civil services, and etc. So, you can understand that in the wide array of service, when public is contributing at the grass level, at the state level, at the national level, this is the way of giving them encouragement, this is the way of honoring them and making sure that this inspires further public to come and contribute to nation building, not just in forms of punching numbers, but making it holistic. Now, on this note, we will be moving towards understanding. Now, on this note, when I am talking about honoring people, I started this whole discussion with a point towards Article 18. Because Article 18, which is a fundamental right, it talks about abolition of titles. Now, when the government itself is giving honors, then how this article is not being negated, it is not being void, it is not becoming null and void. It is because, as I mentioned, that these are not titles, these are honors, and that is why this is a very clear constitutional aspect that becomes very important for you from the perspective of exam, that they are not explicitly mentioned in constitution and they have been instituted by an executive authority of the President of India. And another clarity on this, that these are not titles, because the state has already prohibited on conferring any titles except for military or academic, and this was a concern that has been raised since the Padma Awards have been constituted, that does this violate Article 18. So, based on that fact that these are not titles and also they are not allowed to be used with the name as a prefix or suffix, it has been made clear that they do not violate Article 18, and that has been reaffirmed by Supreme Court in Balaji Raghavan versus Union of India case, that Padma Awards are constitutional, they are not violating any constitutional, any fundamental right, and there is a condition to make sure that there is no violation, that is that the awards must not be used as prefixes or suffixes. Now, on this note, let us straight away jump and look into the people who have been honored with the Padma Awards this year. So, when we are talking about Padma Awards this year, it has been approved for 131 cases in which there have been certain duo cases. That means two people are getting the award. And if we are looking at the category wise distribution, Padma Vibhushan has been given to 5. That means the second highest civilian honor. Padma Bhushan to 13 and then Padma Shri to 113. And if you look at the state-wise distribution, you will also see that there is concentration in certain states, especially be it Maharashtra or we are talking about Tamil Nadu, UP, West Bengal. But at the same time, the awards, Padma Awards, are also showing a federal aspect, that the recognition across the states, only few states are left in this scenario. If you see, I am talking about Mizoram has been left out here and Sikkim, and then Goa also, but other than that, all of the states and union territories have been shown prominence here. So this gives encouragement in terms of the federal aspect as well. When we are talking about category wise distribution itself, let us also look into special features of Padma Awards this year, because the women awardees this time have been 19%, and this number has been gradually increasing over the years. Even the foreign contribution has been increasing. 6 awardees are either foreigners, NRIs, PIOs, and the posthumous awards have been 16. Certain fields have been dominant across the awards this year: art and culture, literature and education, medicine, science and engineering, and sports and social work. If we are talking about sports, it was also our captain Rohit Sharma who not only got T20 World Cup but other victories, has also been given the Padma Award in the sports category. So moving towards the direct list, we will be starting with Padma Vibhushan. As I said, there have been 5 cases who have been awarded, starting with late actor Dharmendra, who has been given the posthumous award in the category Art from the state Maharashtra. Then we have K.T. Thomas from Public Affairs, N. Rajam from Art, Uttar Pradesh, and P. Narayanam, Literature and Education from Kerala. Then we also have V.S. Achyutanandan, posthumously he has been awarded for Public Affairs and again from Kerala. But when we are looking at the next category, that is of Padma Bhushan, I am highlighting only a few here. Rest of them that will be uploaded in detail on our website. So when we are talking about Padma Bhushan, it has been given to Alka Yagnik, a very known singer in art. Then we have Mammootty from again Kerala in the category of art. Uday Kotak, who is a very known industrialist, he has been given the award of trade and industry. And another important name is here, Sibu Soren, posthumous award yet again, but from the contribution he has made, especially in Jharkhand in terms of public affairs, cannot go unrecognized. So what you will see, there has been a strong representation from arts, public life and also industry, and the regional concentration is also present, especially as I highlighted Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. Some sort of regional concentration has also been seen. Apart from this, moving to the 4th highest civilian honor, that is Padma Shri, there have been categories of science and engineering, medicine, and then we have also had sports as I highlighted. And that brings us to the recognition of fact that in sports it was not just Rohit Sharma, but the captain of women's cricket team who got yet another World Cup has been awarded. So these efforts, the recognition that has been given by government, this brings in more awareness to people. For example, Savita Punia from Haryana. Can you tell me in which sports Savita Punia participates, for which she has been recognized for? And the detailed list you will be able to find on our website. The whole idea of bringing this to you was to make you understand that Padma Awards hold significance beyond just a list. They contribute to the making of nations in aspects that we often miss out. For example, administrative significance. This is where we get to see reinforcement of the culture of merit. Now this is a keyword that you guys can use. This is where we get to see recognition of public service, yes, but at the same time voluntary work. There is social significance associated with it, where it encourages grassroots innovation. It encourages social reform at the lowest level. Promotes regional diversity, sectoral diversity. There are multiple cases from the list that you can pick up and quote in your exams. Furthermore, when we are talking about diplomatic or soft power aspect, the awards which have been given to foreigners strengthens our cultural diplomacy, shows our vibrancy, shows that how we recognize the efforts that have been made, and that uplifts India's global image, the cultural image that has been put forth. Furthermore, there is a clear social justice angle which is involved, which you can quote from the perspective of exam. For example, inclusion of the weaker section, inclusion of women, tribal contributors, folk artists, etc. So this recognizes the social grassroots workers, be it coming from any category. And as I mentioned, there is a federal dimension to it as well, where there is broad regional representation across states, and there is a balance you will see between metropolitans achievers as well as rural contributors which are present. Now on this note, I'll be concluding, but I'll be leaving you with a practice mains question. Critically analyze whether civilian honors strengthen or dilute democratic values. Now take it as a 10 marker and list down the dimensions in the comment section so that we can start a discussion here. Now that was all from my side. Thank you so much.